Okay, welcome everybody, and I hope to have a good session here in the green room today. And I'm going to talk about the two-way learning street, how mentoring benefits all. And I would like to go down memory lane with a hand-colored card I got from a mentor, where she said how lucky she was that she could be a mentor working for us. And I was, usually we are so focused, I'm a coordinator by the way, very focused on the student's role. But this gave me an idea after spring semester last year that maybe also the mentor should be involved in this two-way learning street. Okay, so I was not around 1666, and I'm glad for that. But I've been a coordinator since 2001. And you know, at the old universities, things are pretty difficult to change, but we'll do our very best. We have about 41,000 students and 7,500 employees. So you will understand that this UDL business will be a huge bite for me. Well, we'll go worldwide next time. So, and the turnover is 800 million euros. So, to give you a framework, that is not only the mentor, the support for students with disabilities. We only work with students working for students with disabilities. So we don't have specially employed people. We have students working as note takers, for example. And we have the mentor. And we also have invigilators and a special needs teacher, and talking books, and all the arrangements made by the teachers when they're taking their exams. We have, earlier on, we were several coordinators, and we specialized in different student groups. And then we realized that this was not a very good idea, so we changed to be responsible for different faculties. So that's the organization that we have right now. So I am responsible for the social science, humanities and theology, and the fine and performing arts, which is situated in another city. So this was the idea that the experience from the mentors, that they would be the new agents of change. And we have so far tried to influence stakeholders, teachers, and university staff, like many of you people. But thinking of the future, those students taking their exams and going into society and hopefully being tomorrow's stakeholders, politicians, influence on different levels of society. And the experience they have, their college experience, the mentors, will perhaps be a great change in the future working with students with disabilities. And just to give you a picture of how many mentors that have been recently, they have been so many students with disabilities having mentors. So in 2014, 382 students had a mentor. That is, we are writing a decision of pedagogical support, and that could include a mentor. And in 2015, 497, and last year 546. So you understand this is big business if you excuse the wording. And in the year of 93-94, we had 62 students with disabilities at Lund University. And last year, as reported to Monica Svalfors, Stockholm University, 1,609 students with disabilities, ranging from, yes, deaf students to students with mobilities, visual impairments, and everything between. The largest group I can add is that a lot of students with cognitive, that is ADHD and the like, they have been a very rising group at Lund University for the past 6 years. And from the beginning, you could say that the mentor was somebody you often discussed the subject with. The subject was the issue, and you needed somebody to discuss with, to read or to look at old exams, and to sort of getting into the subject that you were studying. That has completely changed during the years, because now the mentors are focusing mainly on structure, planning, and sometimes academic writing. But they also have, the students, they also have their wishes for somebody special. And when a male student told me that, well, I would like to have a mentor that is older than me, and he was 50 plus, I was thinking, can I manage this? Yes, I could, and that was one of our super mentors who is retired actually, living in a dorm, yes, and himself studying. So I managed to fix a mentor for this student, but we all try our very best, but mostly it's the study counselors that do the job of finding a good mentor and also pairing the two. So we have some voices from the mentors, and that was what flashed through my mind when I saw the postcard that, well, actually we had some evaluation forms some years ago, and asking both the student and the mentor to write down what they had learned from being getting a mentor and being a mentor. And they said that our meetings gave me energy and joy. The student was better than most in the class. The student was focused and was very serious about studying. I got a deeper understanding myself because I had to look from different perspectives. I just wanted to thank you for the opportunity to work with the student. So these were the voices from the mentors working with the students. So it was not only the student who benefited from having a mentor, but also the mentor itself. And then we had the, maybe Barbara recognized, the mentor handbook, who is imported into Great Britain as well. The mentor handbook was developed at Lund University, but thanks to Stockholm University and the National Agency for Special Needs Education and Schools, it was going national and used by a lot of coordinators, which was needed to have something to give to the mentors in order to get a picture of what am I going to do as a mentor, and not sort of taking a course in being a mentor, because there's no time for it, but a leaflet, a booklet of the most important things to think of. And the contents of the mentor handbook would be a sort of a welcome to mentoring, and what is mentorship, things to bear in mind before you get started. Has to do a lot with communication, getting started, and also setting boundaries, creating objectives, and also encouraging the positive. So there's a more of a coaching style from the mentor meeting the students. And also a very important thing is to support autonomy. I mean, it's very easy to sort of help too much, and you're full of, I want to help, I want to do the best for this student, but you can also help too much. Because what the thing is about being given a mentor is also to yourself as a student learn the strategies. It could perhaps take a semester or two. I don't know, I don't have the ability to foresee that, but then it's up to the mentor actually to also focus on the autonomy and push the student to be independent. And also evaluating your works. There are some forms in this mentor handbook that you can use as a mentor to evaluate your work and setting up goals and so forth. And also to conclude the mentorship. It varies very much, I could say. Some have the fortunate to have the same mentor for several semesters, and somebody will have to change mentor because of other circumstances. Could you please help me for the display? Yeah, the link, please. So, of course, we set up a Swedish website, but I'm sure that you couldn't understand a thing about that one, so I brought with me the page set up for mentors, and this is supposed to give them some guidelines apart from the mentor handbook and some advice working as a study support mentor. And I've also asked a few mentors to write about their work, so there are examples from mentors on this page that you can yourself read if you want to become a mentor, or if you think of, oh, how am I going to do with the academic writing with my student, then there's some tips and tricks at this side. So it's important that the mentor is not alone in this one, because we have at our university, we have a retired coordinator who will do a follow-up by telephone for the mentors, and who also can tell the coordinator if there's something to be needed, or that they can have meetings with the student and the mentor, or just the mentor if the mentor feels insecure or have special questions that you want to discuss, maybe according to communication or worries about the students. Okay, so what I think that really matters now is to take the experiences from mentors that we did for the evaluation, to take that a step further, and also to give the mentor a proper education, and that would be some sort of a e-learning or something. We're discussing that on a national level, how to do that in the best way, and to give the mentor the best support that they can have. Thank you. Any questions? Yes, absolutely. There's a mic here. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you. Hi, Jane Ennis, NUI Galway. We're running a mentoring scheme as well, so I'm just very interested in your initiative. I'm just wondering, you talked about study counsellors, and you mentioned that study counsellors both recruited your mentors and paired mentors with mentees.
Sometimes, yes.
What is a study counsellor? It's not something I'm familiar with in the Irish context.
Study advisor, you could say, that not all universities or university colleges have organized their work in that exact way, but at our university, different departments have that study advisor to give a study plan or a lot of administration, but also all other human focuses. So that's why because they are the key persons who know a lot of, they they facilitate for our students, but also they know at the department teachers and tips for good people who can be a mentor. There's also, I think it's from United States, the supplementary instructor, SI mentoring, if somebody have heard about that. Because it's in Sweden it's spread, and I think in Great Britain it's also spread. And those mentors are working in groups, in classes. And a class mentor can also be a personal mentor.
Okay, but those study counsellors are academic staff, are they, who connect mentors to students with students?
Yeah, they could.
Advisors.
It could be a PhD during their PhD, and they get a job as a study advisor or study counsellor at the department.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then my other question was, but I think you've answered it. Up to now, it's mostly been one-to-one support from one student to another. But you're looking at maybe moving towards group support, is it?
No, that is the SI mentoring, to have groups. But there have been initiatives on other universities in Sweden to have that kind of group mentoring.
Okay.
So we're going to have a big conference in the end of October to sort of spread all the examples of what has been done according to mentorship and the outcomes of that. So we hope to learn a great deal. And some universities also have part-time employees, and they have perhaps 15 or 20 students that they meet, but it's not exactly the kind of student-to-student relationship then.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry. It's Barbara Waters. Inspired by Christel's mentoring handbook, I volunteered at my local university to be a mentor. And obviously every university has its own model. But we are working with second-year students. The university identified that was the area of risk where students somehow scramble through year one, but then begin to feel daunted by reaching the end of year 3 or 4, depending where you are in Europe, as to how long it takes you to graduate. And this is run by a small team. It's called the Beyond Barriers scheme, and it's in the Vice-Chancellor's office. It's part of Equality and Diversity, this small team. And they offer the students the mentoring scheme. The tutors know about it. The students put themselves forward, but perhaps I suspect some might be pushed. And we are all volunteers. We are all alumni of the university. So there's a room full of people who got their degree at that university, some of us many years ago, but we are volunteers. They recruit us through the alumni scheme.
Okay.
And
yeah.
these are people, mostly people who are working. They're incredibly busy people. I'm very impressed.
Yeah.
But they either mentor someone in the same area of work, so they actually help with CV building on work placements. And, for example, there are women engineers mentoring women engineering students
Yeah.
about how to cope with a great big office full of men. And there are other kinds of mentors, like myself, who are looking at confidence building. And
Yeah.
I am, because of my background, working with disabled students, but that's not identified in the big picture of things, because obviously it's very confidential for the students. But the one thing that has impressed me is, which is also on your slide, is how capable these students are. And I keep thinking, why am I mentoring these students? They're so able, but they don't think they're able. For whatever reason of the barrier, they don't think that they are as good as the other people in their class, which is not true. But that's where the confidence building, the work of gentle encouragement, but not doing it for them, which I think is very important.
Yeah.
I have a sticker on my front door that says, "You are not the student's mother."
Yeah.
Because when you get old, it's easy, isn't it, to think, you know, this is a young student, I'm just going to tell them how it is. But it has to come from them. And I've mentored 2 students now, and it's been absolutely a learning process for the 2 of us.
Well, actually, when I talk to staff and other students about this, they also say, I also want to mentor. Even the staff says that. So that would be, I think, here in Dublin, which college, I cannot say, but they have this peer-to-peer system. So everybody got a peer when they started, because I think that students with disabilities tend to say, oh, it's my fault, it's due to my disability that I cannot cope with this, but there's so much more. And the mentor can also help with this cultural awareness. There are so many things that you have to know. It's a sort of a cultural shock to come to the university, and it's easy to blame it on yourself. So I think that's a very good way of having also a mentor that can push and make the student go further. And now, yes, we had one more question. Yeah.
Yes, I'm very much interested in the mentor's handbook, and I would like to ask you to say more about its contents, how it was created, and what kind of help it can give to the mentors, and also if it's available in English.
Oh yes, it's available in English, absolutely. But I think I must give the word to you, Caroline, for your presentation. And my name is Christel, once again, and I would like to meet you after the session, and we could discuss further. Is that okay with you? Yes, thank you. Thank you.